I'm Andy. It all began when my sister Sheila asked me to pretend to be her so that I could pass her exams for her.
I don't have any time to prepare. I'm dating a cool guy and spend all my time with him.
Sheila handed me her dress and batted her eyes innocently. The idea was that she would go out with her boyfriend while I took her exam for her, so of course I refused. But Sheila didn't give up. A week later, I found a Dua Lipa concert ticket on my desk. My parents said it wasn't from them. It was from Sheila. When I went to return it, I saw a delivery bag in her room. She had gotten a part-time job just to buy it for me. My anger faded, and I agreed to help her, but only for one day. She helped me dress and get ready, and I went to her college. I passed the exam easily and planned to go straight home. But then her friend Molly stopped me in the hallway. She thought I looked unwell and took me to the cafeteria for hot tea. She talked nonstop, sharing gossip, and I found myself enjoying every minute. That's when I realized I liked Molly. Later, I asked Sheila to lend me her dress for one more evening to go shopping with her, but this time, Sheila said no.
That's it, Andy. Thanks for your help, but you've done enough. I'll meet her myself.
I couldn't miss that opportunity, so I did something many people wouldn't approve of. I told our parents the truth about my twin sister's exam. They were furious and punished her, grounding her and taking away her gadgets. She couldn't warn Molly. While my sister was arguing with them, I went to her room and carefully copied her makeup, hairstyle, and outfit. An hour later, Molly and I met at the mall. In the first fitting room, I realized it was all worth it when Molly stepped out in a beautiful dress and smiled at me.
Well, what do you think, Sheila?
I didn't know what Sheila would have said, but I was absolutely delighted. I smiled stupidly and gave her a thumbs up without taking my eyes off of her. That evening, Molly and I visited the boutiques at the mall. She tried something on each of them and asked me to tell her if it suited her. It was little wonder that I came back home in a great mood. However, my sister was sitting there waiting for me.
Tomorrow, I'll tell Molly everything and she won't see you again. Pfft, did you think she would scare me? I had a better trump card. Well, then I'll tell your dean who actually got perfect marks for the exam. Although Molly likes to gossip so much, she'll do all the work for me.
Sheila threw an apple at me and stormed off to her room. I decided to chat with Molly, but this time, as myself. I liked all her photos and sent her a friend request. But for some reason, she didn't accept it. I decided to get to know her in real life, and the next day, I came up to her near the college. Molly didn't act the same way around me as she had around Sheila. She didn't listen to what I was saying and horribly looked up from her phone, but I knew how to get her attention. At home, I took Sheila's phone from her parents and asked her to type in the password. She was too afraid I would expose her to object, so I calmly invited Molly to a club using Sheila's account, changed into a dress, and left. The club was very noisy, and Molly was constantly leaning close to me to shout something in my ear. We spent the evening hanging out at the bar and dancing, but then the DJ turned on slow music. While I was thinking about what to do, some guy asked Molly to dance. I slipped my cocktail and glared at the couple. At first, they were just spinning around the dance floor, but then the guy started to press closer and closer to Molly. She winced and tried to pull away. When he leaned in to kiss her cheek, I couldn't stand it any longer. I pushed him away, took Molly's hand, and dragged her out of the club. Once we were outside, she hugged me.
Thank you, Sheila. I was so scared. You've been so brave lately. It's all thanks to my sister, and she's teaching me self-defense. That's weird. You said she was a creep and you barely talked to each other.
Well, Sheila still managed to interfere with my plan. To convince Molly, I praised myself as much as I could. That evening, I forbade Sheila from seeing her friend until I started dating Molly. With the holidays coming, Molly wouldn't be going to college anyway. Sheila cried and called me a tyrant, but I didn't feel sorry for her. She had started this whole lie herself. The plan worked. That night, Molly accepted my friend request, and we started chatting. The next morning, using my sister's phone again, I invited her to lunch at a cafe. We talked for hours, and I couldn't stop admiring her. But then something completely unexpected happened. A policeman came up to me and asked,
Sheila Young.
I realized that it wasn't the best moment for confessions, and nodded. The cop handcuffed me and led me to his car. Molly ran after us, asking questions, but the policeman did not answer any of them. They brought me to a police station and handed me a document. It was a complaint about my sister, filed by some guy called Walter. He accused his ex-girlfriend of breaking into his house after they'd fought and trashing the place. It was clearly some kind of mistake. Sheila couldn't have done something like that. A guy walked into the office. It was Walter. Without even looking in my direction, he said to the policeman,
I don't need her to compensate the damages. Just punish her severely.
She had gone too far. I was about to tell the truth when I heard my sister's voice outside the door. I imagined how shocked everyone would be if they saw two identical girls. Then my twin sister walked in pretending to be me. She had my ID and calmly explained everything, convincing them to leave us alone. Once everyone was gone, she grabbed my hand and whispered for me to stay quiet.
Andy, please don't turn me in. I found out that Walter was cheating on me. I started having panic attacks after what happened. I even started to stutter a little, because we haven't talked that much lately. Please cover for me. I won't be able to handle the punishment.
Sheila was shaking and was as white as snow. I felt sorry for my sister and promised to take all the blame. The punishment was not as harsh as I'd expected. I got 2 months of community service. I worked looking like Sheila so that nobody would realize who I was. Molly bombarded me with questions about her friend, but I didn't reply to her messages. After all, I knew she loved to gossip, and that could have disrupted our whole plan. On the first day, I was told to paint a fence near Sheila's college. I was hoping Molly wouldn't show up there during the holidays, but for some reason she went to college, and on my way back, she saw me.
How are you? I saw you kissing Walter in the car in the parking lot. What do you mean, Walter? They broke up.
Molly raised her eyebrows in surprise, and that's when I finally understood everything. Sheila had tricked me completely. Tired of my threats, she didn't just want revenge, she wanted me out of her life. For 2 whole months, she pretended to be fragile, lied about panic attacks, and I believed every word, while she kept dating her boyfriend like nothing had happened. There was no point in lying anymore. I told Molly the whole story from the very beginning. She was hurt and disappointed. I apologized, called myself a fool, and she promised not to tell anyone. After she left, everything fell apart. That evening, I ran home in panic and shouted Sheila's name, ready to confront her at last.
Hurry up! You need to get out of this country right now.
Sheila asked, startled, what had happened, and I told her a terrible story.
I was painting a fence as part of my community service and accidentally spilled a paint over someone's car. A guy got out of it and started threatening to me. I was rude to him, and he grabbed a baseball bat and chased me almost all the way home. After that, he shouted that he would search the whole city to find me.
Sheila didn't have time to say anything. We heard a crash downstairs. Someone was kicking in the front door. I grabbed the first thing I saw, a vase, and tiptoed downstairs with Sheila. I stood to the left of the door, raised the vase over my head, but not have the time to react. The guy with the bat burst into our house and glared at my sister.
Well, midget, you're gonna get it now?
The man swung the bat and moved toward Sheila. I dropped the vase and ran outside. Through the window, I saw Sheila fall to the floor, shaking and covering her head. I thought maybe she had finally had enough. I went back inside. The bandit lowered the bat and laughed. That's when I revealed the truth. It was all part of my plan. After everything Sheila had put me through, I wanted revenge. I had asked my friend Ethan, an aspiring actor, to scare her. I realized I had gone too far. I told Ethan to leave and brought her some water. When she finally spoke, I was the one who started shaking with fear.
You idiot. I wasn't mocking you. Everything was real. I just decided to forgive Walter and made up with him.
I was an idiot. Sheila wasn't taking revenge on me. She was truly suffering from panic attacks and stuttering, and I had only made things worse. I tried everything to help, but nothing worked. When our parents came home, I told them the truth. They were furious and took Sheila to the doctor. She was diagnosed with nerve problems caused by stress and began treatment at a clinic. Seeing her exhausted every day broke my heart. Out of guilt, I sold my Dua Lipa tickets and bought Sheila the PlayStation she had always wanted. I apologized to Sheila and promised to make things right. She forgave me, and we laughed, finally at peace.
Hey, I'm Kirsty, and I have an identical twin sister called Arabelle. We didn't have a normal upbringing as our mom abandoned us at an orphanage when we were 6. I'm not fully sure why she gave us up. I guess she was young and just couldn't cope. As little kids, my sister and I were close. We used to fool the other kids and the nuns into thinking that we were each other. Arabelle always wore a pink bow in her hair, so we'd both wear one and freak the kids out by double-crossing them in the corridors. Those were good times. But when we got older, everything has changed. I started to become green with envy. And Arabelle? Everyone always liked her more than me. The nuns called her Little Cat, and every kid kept surrounding her like she was a sparkling star or something. They all thought she was so sweet and polite. This annoyed me because I knew the real her. And she wasn't sweet at all, if not a completely fake girl. And she just knew exactly what to say and do to get the most from people. Then when we were 12, a lot had been happening that completely changed our lives. The orphanage had financial problems that could not be saved. Our nuns loved us so much that they didn't want to lose any of us, but they had no choice but to allow the social organization to find us adoptive parents. The nuns didn't want my sister and I to be apart, so they sent us to 2 families in the same town. But the God of justice must be blind as usual. Arabelle was way luckier than me. She was adopted by a wealthier family. My parents loved me anyway, but, well, she received all the best things, and that was just not fair. We went to the same school, and I was so sick of listening to her bragging. When we were at the orphanage, we used to wear the same kind of clothes, but now things were different. Arabelle always stayed in style, wearing the most beautiful clothes. So, although we are identical twin sisters, whenever we stand next to each other, she would be like a queen and I would be a maid. She easily got everything I ever wished for. Princess bed, a large window with a sea view, piano and ballet classes, and an amazing mom and dad. She talked about it all the time, and I got sick hearing it. It seemed like all of the greatest things were not enough for her. She didn't appreciate what they gave her, and just always wanted more. If I were her, I would enjoy that dream life with gratitude and respect. Everything I got. Life was so unfair. Why did Arabelle always have the best? While a girl like me was suffering from the day I was born, adopting one part of a twin made our two new families close. My new family was always visiting Arabelle's big house for barbecues and nice dinners. To be honest, I did not want to go there at all. It was not a simple family meeting. It was just an event for her to show up. Her parents were so nice, and just by looking at the way they treated her, I could tell that they loved her so much. They often patted her head and called her puppy. Arabelle acted all sweet then behind their backs. She said this nickname made her feel sick. As she wasn't 5, no one seemed to realize the truth. Arabelle was absolutely not as cute as they ever thought. She actually was kind of insolent, haughty, boastful girl, and most of all, she was a fake. I remember one time when her mother's birthday party was taking place. Her mom looked stunning in that gorgeous dress, and people in the room just stayed silent for a while to show their impressing. Arabelle pretended to be cute and gave tons of compliments to her mom. But as soon as her mom turned her back on us, Arabelle whispered to me, "Look at her stupid smile. She is thinking that she really is beautiful, while everyone knows that I'm the one who looks stunning here." I was so sick of her double life. She was so lucky living that great life, but she had no appreciation for what she already had, and she was so fake. One time, I tried to unmask her true colors. I tried to tell my parents and our mutual friend about how she'd acted behind their backs, but they never believed me and just told me to stop being mean and selfish. They didn't understand a thing about her real version and even scolded me. I was the one who deserved that life, not that fake loser girl. That was when I decided to make a bigger plan. I wanted to replace Arabelle and live her life. I started staring at her work and copied her handwriting. I practiced imitating her voice. We sounded pretty similar, so this was easy. I secretly followed her and her lame friends at school so that I could learn all about their hobbies and habits, but my family was not as wealthy as theirs. I could only stand outside the restaurant, the clothing store, or the cinema. Watching Arabelle enjoy the good life just made my determination grow. When our families met up, I made an effort to get to know her parents more. Her mom likes playing the piano and her dad likes taking care of his bonsai trees. Her mom can't eat seafood, and her dad is allergic to peanut butter. I jotted down every little detail about her life in my planning book. There were a lot of things I needed to learn until I was fully confident that I could become a second Arabelle and successfully replace her. But then something suddenly happened that made me speed up my plan. This boy called Milo I liked at school started flirting with my sister and she flirted back. She knew I liked him, but this didn't stop her from agreeing to go on a date with him. She was such a demon. At this point, I couldn't stand her walking around and stealing all the best things I've ever wanted in my life. I had a plan. Back when I was in the orphanage, there was a man who often came to us and said impolitely to the nuns that they should sell him some children to solve their financial worries. Of course, the nuns refused him and kicked him out. He continued to come over a couple of times, and once he gave us his phone number, saying that if any of us got into trouble, we could find him. Then the nun showed up and threatened to call the cops. Well, that was the last time I saw him. I always kept that number because I knew there would be a day I would need it, and that day finally came. I called him and we came up with a plan to solve my Arabelle issue. He sent her an anonymous message telling her to come to a secluded corner in the park and to find out some juicy gossip about Milo. Of course, my nosy sister agreed. The man promised my sister would be sent to another place to work to help him earn money, and she wouldn't be harmed. I left a letter at home saying I'd had enough of the poor life, and I'd found a better place to go. I told my parents not to be sad and not to look for me. I hid in a corner of the park and waited for my sister to appear. Then when they took her, I could easily hop into her life and replace her. There would be no more Kirsty anymore, as I would perfectly be back as Arabelle. Well, the better version of her. Suddenly, I saw a black car stop in the distance. 2 tattooed guys got out of the car. I could see guns in their back. They stopped for a moment to wet a hanky with some liquid thing. This didn't feel right. I knew that this was going way too far. They would hurt my sister, and I was the one who was participating in this sin. And I knew that I would live in guilt for the rest of my life if I ever let it happen. I immediately ran out from where I was hiding, grabbed my sister's hand and pulled her away. I heard their footsteps right behind us, so I ran as fast as possible to the crowd of people and screamed loudly at the same time to let people around pay attention to us. The other two men probably gave up when we ran into the crowd. After we got back to her home, I told her that I happened to be walking past and overheard the guy saying they were going to kidnap her. Then I just ran to reach her as fast as possible without thinking. She hugged me and thanked me for saving her life. She said that she always thought that I didn't like her, and she used to feel that way about me too. Wow, that moment she came clear that she used to think that I was just a gross, dirty girl and didn't deserve to be around her. And she, from time to time, tried to pretend herself in front of me just to make me jealous. She was so sorry for her selfish mind and promised to change her character for me. I also told her that sometimes I became so mean because of envy, but facing this dangerous situation made me realize how much she means to me, and I will not let jealousy blind me anymore. Turns out living a great life was that simple. We just need to talk straight and openly with each other to solve the problems between us. As for my parents, they read the letter, I left them and got upset. We had a good talk, and I realized I was being the ungrateful one. Yes, so they didn't have as much money as Arabelle's family did, but they were good people who cared about me. Arabelle hadn't been the only selfish one. I'd been selfish too. Life's good, and Arabelle and I are getting on better than ever. Still, the guilt from what I planned eats me up. Should I come clean about what really happened? Or should I keep it a secret and carry on like normal? I mean, it's not like anyone was hurt, right?
Hi, I'm Pomni and I live in Los Angeles with my celebrity mom. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. I never knew my dad, but I totally worshipped my mom. She was a famous singer, and with her sparkly clothes and gorgeous voice, she was perfect in my eyes. But growing up, she was always so busy she barely had time for me. When I was 10, I got selected to play the lead in the play. Mom promised that she would come, but I kept waiting and she never showed up. When I got home, I saw her relaxing on the sofa with a look of satisfaction. Mom? Mom didn't respond, which made me furious, and I shouted,
"What's the matter with you, Pomni? Can you see I'm busy?"
"You missed this? Might play for a stupid spa session. How could you be so selfish?" "Mom."
You have no idea about the stress I'm under working on my new album to keep my millions of fans happy.
And how about keeping me happy? Ever thought about that? With that, I just ran up to my room and shut my door. Mom and I didn't speak to each other for days, and after that she left for yet another tour and didn't come back for 2 whole weeks. Over time, Mom and I just got more distant. She got busier with work and I got busier with school and theater. With time, I got better and started performing in local dramas. Things were fine, but then I turned 16 and everything changed. Mom told me she was leaving on a tour for a year and I was going to a boarding school, but I don't want to go. My whole life is here. Why are you doing this?
Pomni, please don't make this more difficult than it already is. You're going to a boarding school and that's final.
I kept arguing with Mom the whole night, but she didn't give a hoot, and 2 days later I was on a flight to my new school. Mom didn't even come to see me off, but by now I didn't care. From the moment I arrived, I hated the place. The walls were so gray it made my eyes hurt, and the hallways looked something straight out of a horror movie. I was on my way to the class when suddenly a girl my age collapsed at my feet.
Oh my god, my head is so heavy I feel like I'm going to throw up. Take me to the nurse, please.
But the girl started shivering like crazy, and I panicked and took her to the nurse. But she was so busy with someone else and just told me to take the girl to one of the treatment beds.
I'm here a lot since I suffer from fainting spells.
But you didn't faint, you just dropped at my feet.
Right? I mean, normally I feed a lot, but today I just have a broken sneaker knock bone. Okay, fine, I'm just trying to get out of class. Please don't tell anyone. You can stay with me in this class too. I'll cover for you. I'm Ragatha.
Pomni. Ragatha and I got talking and instantly connected over our hatred for the boarding school. Incidentally, she was also my roommate and the biggest troublemaker around. She was always sneaking out, bunking classes. This one time, Ragatha dropped fart bombs in the class and everyone went into a frenzy. Obviously, she got busted and threw a tantrum.
I was trying to hide my farts with that bomb. I have a very weak stomach and I fart a lot. You know, kids can get really mean about these things. You want me to get bullied? What if I start taking drugs? What if I die?
And then Ragatha dropped like a family to the ground, and the teacher ended up apologizing to her instead. Being with Ragatha was fun, and slowly, I started liking my life in school. Until one day, I was on stage reciting a Shakespeare sonnet for school play when I saw Mom walking in. I was so shocked to see her, I forgot all my lines and went backstage in panic. But I tripped on the stairs, and the next thing I knew, I was in the hospital with Mom and Ragatha sitting next to me.
I'm a horrible mother. I shouldn't have come and upset Pomni like that.
It's my fault I called you here so we could finally tell Pomni the truth. But I guess we messed up big time. Mom.
What?
When did you wake up?
Around the same time you called my mom.
Your mom? I didn't say mom, I said bomb because your mom's the bomb.
Shut up. I might have hit my head, but I'm not stupid. Now tell me, why did you call her mom?
It's okay, Ragatha. I think it's time. Pomni, sweetie. Ragatha is your twin sister.
Mom told me how years ago she was in a horrible marriage with my biological father, and she had no choice but to run away from home. But after a week, she found out she was pregnant with twins she couldn't afford to raise 2 kids to. She gave Ragatha up for adoption.
I ran away to LA and met this music producer who helped me out. When I got successful, I tried looking for Ragatha, but I couldn't track her down.
My adoptive dad's witchy girlfriend wanted me out of the house, so he enrolled me in this boarding school. But last week, Dad finally told me about my biological mom. I got in touch with Mom and asked her if she'd want to meet me.
And you chose to meet her here. Mom, you didn't think what would happen if I found out.
I thought it would be nice to introduce you to your twin sister.
Mom, you paid 0 attention to me all my life, and then you show up here on announced and tell me I have a twin sister. What part of this is nice? And Ragatha, you knew I was your sister and didn't say a word to me. Why?
Mom asked me not to.
And you listened to her? The woman who abandoned you? This is crazy. Just leave both of you. Mom and Ragatha left, and I just sat in my bed feeling totally betrayed. Back in school, I just avoided Ragatha like the plague, even though she tried talking to me a million times. Soon it was time for spring break, and I was packing my stuff when Ragatha walked in.
Are you done? The drivers? Who to pick us up?
What do you mean I'm going home?
My dad is traveling for business, so Mom invited me to stay at your place. I know you hate the idea, but I've waited all my life to have a family. Please just let me have this one spring break. I promise I won't button your life ever again.
I wanted to say no, but Ragatha looked like she would break in a million pieces, so I decided to look the other way. It would be good for Ragatha to discover what a terrible mom we had, but I was totally wrong. Mom was so excited to have Ragatha around. She took a break from work, made us breakfast, took us out on shopping sprees. She even threw a homecoming party for Ragatha. Mom had never paid me so much attention. Soon after, spring break ended, and it was time to get back to school. But a day before we had to leave, Mom gave me yet another surprise.
So, I've spoken to your dad, Ragatha, and we have decided that it's best you girls stay in your home. No more boarding school for you guys. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, Mom, that's great.
It sucks, Mom. I begged you not to send me to that dreaded school, and you didn't listen to me. But now that you have your new daughter, you want her to stay near you?
I want both my daughters to stay close to me. I've missed out on so much already, and I just want to make up for the lost time.
Yeah, right. You'll just end up disappointing Ragatha, like you've always disappointed me. With that, I just left, and the next day, Mom enrolled us in a school nearby. I just wanted to stay away from home as much as possible, so I decided to join the drama club in my new school. On my first day, we were asked to perform a dialogue from Romeo and Juliet, and I got paired up with this dreamboat of a boy, Jack.
Oh my Juliet, don't you come down. I want to see your pretty face and your beautiful sparkling eyes.
Go on.
It's your line.
Sure. Oh, Jack, I mean Romeo, you are the light of my life. Your face is so perfect, like a sculpted statue. And those are so strong. Do you work out a lot?
I do, but I don't think that's what we were talking about.
Then what are you talking about?
The play, are you okay? You're not blinking.
I'm fine. I'm just getting into character. You know, Juliet and all. I'm weird. Sorry. Bye-bye. Nice to meet you. I ran in the other direction, feeling totally embarrassed. A minute later, Jack came behind me. The two of us started talking, and by the end of the day, Jack asked me out on a date. I had the best time with Jack that evening. He was fun, cute. Pretty soon I found myself pouring my heart out to him, telling him everything about my family and Ragatha.
It sounds tough. I grew up without a family too. I mean, I had my dad, but he was hardly around, so I get where you're coming from.
Thanks for listening. Ruined the date, haven't I?
Maybe there's still time to turn things around.
And with that, Jack leaned in and kissed me, and I kissed him back. We went on a few more dates. Every night he'd come over and I'd sneak out with him. We'd go for drives, parties, walks, and it helped me keep my mind off things at home. One evening, Jack invited me to this party at his cousin's place. It was a little out of town, so he told me we'd be staying the night. When I was about to run away, Ragatha walked in.
Where are you going to hang out with your your hippie boyfriend. I know you've been sneaking out to spend time with Jack, but Pomni, I just don't think he's right for you. I heard he's always skipping school and his grades are trash, and just last week he almost got arrested for stealing cars.
Those are baseless rumors and you're one to talk. Have you completely forgotten what a mess you were in school? Besides, you should be happy I'm out of your hair so you can spend more time with Mom.
I'm just trying to reconnect with my family.
And look how great that's going. Now, I'm getting late, so go back to your room and stay out of my life. I took a cab and went straight to the location Jack had sent, but when I reached the place, it was totally dark and there was no one around. I walked up to the cabin and knocked, but no one answered, and seconds later someone tapped on my shoulder. I turned around and saw two big men staring at me, and Jack was right behind them. What's happening and who are you?
Oh, don't worry, sugar. We'll only keep you here till your mom comes and rescues you.
Rescue me from what? Jack, what is this?
I'm so sorry, Pomni. I owe these people a lot of money, and since my dad won't give me any, I had no choice but to kidnap you. Just do what they're saying and we'll all be safe, I promise you.
Are you out of your mind? I trusted you. You were my boyfriend. Oh my god, this is such a mess. Help!
Don't bother. There's no one around.
Please, Pomni, just sit tight and hear me out.
I quickly managed to escape before the guy got any closer, but the man in black chased after me right after that. As he got closer, suddenly a vase flew out of nowhere and hit him on the head. He fell backwards and I saw Ragatha jump in with a baseball bat. Jack saw everything and rushed out the cabin. He was stopped by Mom and a bunch of policemen as they handcuffed and dragged Jack and the two guys away. Mom came running and hugged me tight.
I'm so glad you're okay.
Thank God I saw you getting into that cabin, noted down its number. He's the one who told me about this place. Don't you dare do something like this again, Pomni.
I'm so sorry, Ragatha. I was so mad watching you and Mom together. It just made me jealous and crazy, and I just couldn't think straight. I thought you guys didn't care about me since you had each other.
It's my fault. I wasn't there when you needed me, Pommy, and I will never forgive myself for that. But I'm here now, not just for Ragatha, but for both of you. So please, give me another chance.
I'm sorry too. I should have been there for you as a friend before anything else. But I was so happy to have found Mom. I ignored how you must have felt.
Hey, at least we're all here and together, and that's all that matters. How about we start with the clean slate? You spoke my mind. Even though the past holds many wounds, only love, sharing, and forgiveness can heal a family and bring true happiness.
The clock struck midnight. The bell echoed through the ancient creaking mansion. I picked my way across the dark halls, clutching my flashlight so tight my knuckles hurt. Oh, brat. Not bad, you little brat. Nearly gave me a heart attack, as if there were any ghosts here, like I'd be scared. Pearl Bagot, Eris extraordinaire, please. Suddenly, something brushed past the small of my back. It couldn't just be a rat. Everyone in high society knew the Baggots. Wealthy, famous, untouchable. And I was Pearl Bagot, the heiress, the only child. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My life was perfect, except for...
Miss, your father and mother's wedding is about to begin. They would like you to arrive early.
I'm not going, and Melanie is not my mother. My mother left when I was a baby. My dad, Mr. Bagot, ordered everyone never to speak of her. I grew up with no real memory of her face or her name, just a few hazy flashes of a gentle smile. Then Melanie showed up, sliding into the role of my father's lover. She was a famous actress with a squeaky clean reputation, sweet as pie in public, but I'd seen the mask slip. So when my father and Melanie wanted to announce their secret relationship to the world and throw a wedding of the century, I was not about to be part of it. Then Melanie came back from her honeymoon in a torn wedding dress and with her face smeared.
Oh, everything's awful. We were robbed, and my poor husband, Mr. Bagot, he risked his life to save me, and he's probably not gonna make it.
My limbs went ice cold, but I forced myself to stay composed. If the Bagot name fell into chaos, vultures would circle. I had to act fast. Order the private guards to find my father and host a charity ball. Invite every socialite in the book.
And Lady Melanie. Miss?
Keep her under strict watch. She's not cleared of my father's disappearance. The ball was set up in a hurry. I stood in the middle of the crowd, composed and poised. Even though I was grieving and full of questions about my father, I knew I had to be the rock that held the family together. From this moment, I, Pearl Bagot, would temporarily assume head of the household while my father was missing.
I object.
Melanie burst in, followed by a phalanx of guards. The guests gasped. I'm 18. I have all legal right to inherit. A common law wife like you has no standing here.
Pearl is not Mr. Bagot's biological daughter.
Her words hit like a torpedo. My eyes went wide. She slammed a DNA test on the podium, proving I wasn't his blood, plus a power of attorney naming her as the successor if anything happened to him. The signature was his.
When we reached the robbers' hideout, we only found these papers and a few relics belonging to Mr. Baggett as the family's longtime servant. I swear, it's all genuine.
In an instant, I went from noble heiress to the town Joe High Society spread rumors about the imposter child, aka me, and Melanie. She put on her sweetest smile and played the grieving wife.
Even if Pearl wasn't Mr. Baggett's biological child, we still loved her. We would send her to the manor in the countryside, the very estate Mr. Baggett once gave his ex-wife, who is Pearl's mother.
Just like that, because of Melanie's words, I was shipped off to a backwoods mansion. People stared like I was a walking headline. Right. Who willingly moved into a supposedly haunted castle? The place looked like Valak would pop out at any second and freak me out. All my accounts were frozen. The little savings I had left paid only for a detective to trace my father's steps. I put on my brave face and marched inside. No time for sulk. I tossed and turned on the bed and couldn't sleep. Everything sucked. The mattress was rock hard and the blanket smelled like something gross had been puked into it. Then a strange noise echoed below. Someone was moving on the floor below. I crept through the dark to find the source. It was just a tiny mouse. Then something bumped my back. Two blood-curdling screams shattered the silence. I scrambled to flee from the ghost, but my limbs tangled up like noodles. Wait, soft, warm, and it had legs. Who the heck are you? You better not be here to steal anything. Get out now before I call the cops.
You're the one who should go. This is my and my mom's place.
This is Baggett property. But the kid didn't care. She went full-on aggressive, all claws out. We ended up in this wild fight, and somehow I managed to throw her out. Then I dragged myself back to bed, every inch of me aching. What a freaking day. The next morning, I woke up to someone pounding on the door. Ugh, what do you want now, little thief?
My name's Jade. I came to apologize.
Turns out, after that chaotic night, her grandma dragged her over to my place by the ear.
Grandma said help her with whatever she needs. So yeah, any requests, princess?
I don't eat those dirt-covered veggies, and I don't need help.
Cooking, fixing stuff. That's my specialty. Judging by your outfit, I'm guessing you've never lifted a finger in your life.
Okay, fine. She wasn't wrong. After that, Jade started coming around more often. Turns out, she wasn't as awful as I thought. She was clever, practical, full of energy. She showed me how to plant a garden, fix a leaky roof, even brought me food sometimes.
Need a hand, ladies?
Hey, Dean.
Dean was her neighbor. He's smart, funny, a little sneaky, but genuinely kind. He won me over fast.
I thought you were just some rich girl playing country life. Guess I was wrong. You're tougher than you look.
Thanks to Jade and Dean, I started blending in. Life out here wasn't so bad. Here I got to just be pearl-free, relaxed. Not that perfect, cold-hearted heiress everyone expected me to be.
Isn't this nice? I wish you'd stay here. Stay with me.
I can't. I still have responsibilities. I need to find my father and clear my name. Lately, Dean kept asking about my past and about us. I wanted to trust him. I really did. But my mission came first. Find Dad, expose Melanie. Then Jade rolled in, holding up a mirror. I froze. I knew that mirror. Jade, you took something from the mansion again.
Mom used to love this mirror. I just wanted to keep it as a memory. It's not like you need it.
That was the problem with Jade. She kept sneaking stuff out of the castle, saying it belonged to her mom. Why my mother's old place was filled with her family's memories was beyond me. Days later, the detective finally called.
We almost found him, but lost the trail. We'll need more funding to continue.
I had just enough saved for that, but when I opened my drawer, my money was gone. I thought I knew who had done this. Where's my money?
What money?
Don't you dare deny it. My savings, every last bit is gone, and you're the only one who's always snooping around the house, you little thief.
I'm not a thief.
When things hit the roof, we started fighting. Dean tried to break it up, but it was useless. Then we froze. The sound of cameras clicking all around us. Reporters were everywhere.
Poor Pearl. Never recovered from learning she's not really a Baggett. She's been violent. I have to take her home for her own good. That's what Mr. Baggett would have wanted.
Guards grabbed me, forcing me into a car. Jade tried to run after me, but got blocked.
Good job. Here's your reward.
Dean looked at me, confused and guilty. He hesitated for a moment, then took the money. At that moment, everything made sense. Melanie kept me locked down, watching my every move. I knew what she was doing. She didn't want anyone to find my father. She wanted the Baggett throne all to herself. But now I was completely helpless. I couldn't trust anyone. And the only person who had ever treated me genuinely, I ended up hurting her.
Psst, Pearl.
How did you get in here?
That witch looks like she's about to lock you up forever. Come on, I've got a plan. Let's go.
Jade moved like a wildcat. We slipped past the guards, sneaked through the back gate, and there he was. Dean was waiting outside.
Melanie paid me to spy on you, but when they took you, I realized how wrong I'd been. I'm sorry.
Jade, I'm sorry too, for doubting you. Let's go. I hid out at Jade's house for a while. The place was full of photos, all of the same woman, smiling gently, a smile I knew.
Do you recognize her?
I'm not sure, but is that my mother? She began to tell me everything. What really happened? Years ago, Melanie had seduced my father while my mother was pregnant with Jade. Heartbroken, Mom moved into the old mansion, living quietly until she met kind neighbors who helped her feel less alone. She later moved into Jade's grandma's house, where she lived a simple, happy life until her health failed.
From the moment you arrived, I knew you two were sisters. That's why I kept pushing Jade to be close to you. I just couldn't risk telling the truth, because the Baggots would have made her life miserable.
Jade threw her arms around me, sobbing uncontrollably. I hugged her back, tears burning my eyes. Heart pain, heart joy.
These letters, they're from your father and mother. They prove Jade is Mr. Baggott's daughter. I think they'll help you.
Then I'll fight for both of us. No one's taking what's ours again. Melanie had taken full control of the family, celebrating her leadership with a grand, flashy party. But right in the middle of her spotlight moment, Jade and I pushed open the doors. My father has another daughter, Jade. She's my sister, and here's proof. Letters between my parents. Melanie has no right to the Baggett name.
Letters? Please, you could have forged those yourself.
Only you would do that with my DNA testing results.
Unless you've somehow brought Mr. Baggett himself here, you've got nothing.
Then let him speak for himself.
The crowd gasped as Dean helped my father walk in. He looked frail, dressed in a hospital gown. Melanie went pale.
Guards, arrest her. She's the traitor.
Dean told me everything. It had all been Melanie's plan to seize control of the Baggett family. Dean was her accomplice, the one keeping tabs on me and holding my father captive. In the end, they both had to face the consequences of what they'd done.
I had to do the right thing, or you'd never forgive me.
After everything, my father handed the family title over to me. He regretted leaving my mom for Melanie, so he poured all his love and care into Jade instead. But Jade refused the luxury life of a rich heiress. She stayed a cheerful little farm girl, living peacefully with Grandma. I turned my mother's old mansion into a cozy retreat. I visit often, spending warmth, quiet days there with Jade and Grandma.
Hey Pearl, Dean's coming back soon. You should invite him too.
Yeah, I miss him too.